Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and blessings to all. So I haven't done a video in a couple months, but I'm back, and hopefully I can get pretty consistent on this or whatnot. But I wanted to take the time to do a video. Now that the smoke has cleared and the dust has settled, I wanted to take a minute to do a video based off of Derrick Jaxn admitting to cheating throughout his relationship with his wife. Alright, but I don't want to do it in the same context that everyone has come out and done these videos. So what I wanted to talk about is not necessarily the hypocrisy, because we've listened to this man for years and years basically cast the aspersion that he's the perfect man with the perfect thoughts, and that every man is somehow, at least every black man is somehow falls short of being a good man. But what I wanted to talk about is in the context of cause and effect. All right. So for years and years in these videos that he's been making for years and years, there's been talk of the effect, but never talk of the cause. All right. Meaning, the destination has been talked about, what ultimately happened, but never talk about the lead up. Okay. Basically, putting the thought pattern out there that you are not responsible for, you have no responsibility for the direction that your relationship goes in as a woman. Alright, so this is the message that he's passed by having his conversations in the forms that he's had them. Now, with that being said, y'all, all of a sudden in his situation, once his situation becomes public, and don't get it twisted, because he's continued to talk in those mannerisms even after, he says that the last time was last year. He's continued to talk in that same format. All right, so maybe he doesn't curse as much or whatever the case may be, but he's continued to talk in that same format of what is being done to the woman, not necessarily what is being done to the man. Right? Now, with that being said, when his situation gets put out front, all of a sudden, the causes that the things that he is using to justify his thought process are the things that men go through all the time. Now, when you think about that, a lot of women are in that. Like, you have to understand that the way that he has pushed his message, a lot of women are in that exact same mindset that he claims his wife was in when she wasn't wearing her ring, when she wasn't, because of things that he said, things that Derrick said, that, yo, you have no responsibility in your relationship for how your relationship goes, and that basically no matter who you are in the equation, the man should treat you a certain way, and that's good. Alright? So now all of a sudden he's saying, okay, my wife wasn't doing the things that made me happy, and she wasn't wearing her ring, and she took my kids from me, and all of these things to justify his moves. However, this is not an isolated incident. These are the things that men have been coming on your posts and saying for years. On all of these posts, for years men have come on there and said these things, and he would basically delete those things. I'm one of the people who are willing to have the conversation, and I said a few things, and I look up and all of my comments are deleted. All right, so you're not speaking, you haven't been speaking from a place of objectivity until now when it concerns you. That is commonplace narcissism. So I don't have to talk about the hypocrisy of what he did, because listen, I got about 3 or 4 videos that I've done on Derrick Jaxn in the past on this page, on this very page, where I accused him of being fraudulent, and I accused him of being a phony. I accused him of all of these things that I'm saying right now, but this is something that no one has talked about. Now, I want y'all to take a look at a couple things, because if you look at the video with his wife, you will notice that Derrick Jaxn, still clean cut, still clean shaven, still wearing his nephew's shirt, or whatever the case may be. The same Derrick Jaxn who caught these ladies' attention by appealing to their eye. That's the same Derrick Jaxn who was sitting there, and the very first time that he brings his wife on to the camera. Because for anybody who's paying attention, a lot of brothers were out here asking, okay, well, you speak these principles, show us that these principles are working in your life. We're finding out through the grapevine that you have gotten married, but you never posted a picture of your wife. You never posted a picture of her when she was your girlfriend. So the first time you bring her on camera, you didn't even care enough to get her hair done. You didn't even care enough to make sure that she looked presentable on a level that she should look presentable based off of your success that you've had. You didn't even show that you are pouring into that woman, and you bring her in onto the camera with a bonnet on. And you have not one but 2 conversations with her having a bonnet on her head, while you look just like Derrick Jaxn as normal. So pardon me if I don't feel like she's still coming across as a charity case, because you brought your normal primped up self on camera, and you didn't say, hey, we're going to do this video, let me get your hair done, we're going to address this, let's get your hair done, and let's get you looking top notch for this video. That's not what you said to her. You allowed her to come on just like she was. Alright? So one of the principles that you talk about a lot is pouring into your woman. And yet, after your mistakes, you put her out there in the sense that you're still not pouring into her. So is this a move? Are these things moves in order to save face and save your business? Or are you really, truly in a spot of regret for what you have done? I would question that. But when we talk about cause and effect, y'all, I want to go ahead and get that out, because I kind of got sidetracked. Cause and effect. Ladies, when you have a decent man in your life who's doing the things that you ask him to do, the things that you need him to do, what you do for him in terms of his deal breakers will affect what you get out of this man. And at a lot of times, in most cases, a man feels like you're coming up short. So now you've been listening to Derrick Jaxn all of these years. He's poisoned your mind, and you've been listening to all the things that he said, because those are the things that you want to hear. And all of a sudden, now the causes of why he succumbed to being what he would call a fuckboy, now all of those things become valid because it's him. Hence the word narcissist. He only cares about things if it's beneficial to him. Now, I've recently, probably in the last year or so, I've recently critiqued 2 of his videos where I felt like he was teaching women to be toxic. Now, when you watch those videos where he's telling women how to make a man miss her and how to get revenge, should his wife watch those videos and take notes? Basically telling these women that they should somehow benefit financially and have him pour into her business so she can get herself together to leave him? Should his wife go out and do all of these things to make sure that he misses her? Leave and make sure that he misses her. He gave a step-by-step guide to do both of these things, y'all. Now you have to, like, to me, you have to, and like I said, he could have gotten out front and brought this shit out and really been, but the fact that he had to be exposed by someone to actually put himself on Front Street, it just further shows me that he's going to continue being full of shit. And then the worst part, to blame God for your relationship going south. It's as if it's not bad enough you're blaming your wife, but you are actually took it upon yourself to blame God and Jesus. And to even admit that that's where your mindset was. To say, I verbally gave myself to God and it didn't go right, so I was beefing with God. It's utterly ridiculous. So, like I said, I didn't want to come from a place of talking about the hypocrisy because we all know that. We all, like, there are fucking thousands of videos out here by bloggers talking about the hypocrisy of this dude. But I wanted to shine the light on a basic principle of hypocrisy that exists within Derrick Jaxn's persona. And that is speaking of the effect and not speaking of the cause. Because somehow, some way, you got to this point, and you are a contributor to how you got to that point. Show off.